Welcome to Interview Showcase. My name is Noah Widmeyer. Joining me today is Shawn Parker, a Haligonian, and Shawn is a well-known and respected member of this community, involved in youth activity and a community member. Having decades of experience in other organizations, Shawn has recently joined CeaseFire Halifax, a new program that focuses on stopping violence, finding the sources, stopping the transmission, and changing the behavior and the community norms that go along with it. Thank you so much for joining me, Shawn.
You're welcome, Noah.
So, Shawn, I want to get right into things. How did you get involved with CeaseFire?
Well, I heard about the project from some friends within the community. Being a person and a passion of working with my youth over the course of my life, I thought this was a great chance for me to give back, to get back into the community and start working with these youth. Over the course of my time being here, violence has always been an issue in our neighborhoods. And I thought this project here will address something that I have a passion for, as reducing the violence.
And why did you think it was a right fit for you?
My past experience, you know what I'm saying? I have a love for my HRM. I have a love for Halifax and its surrounding communities. And I thought this would be a great chance for me to give back to the community. I mean, I've always, like I said, I've always been involved working with youth. Yeah. But with the rash and violence that's been hitting our city, I thought this would be the great opportunity.
And getting right into that, there's been 12 homicides just in 2016 this past year in Halifax. There's been community organizations like yours getting together, rallying. There's even been the city trying to, handing guns for bus tickets. Why do you think that CeaseFire is needed now more than ever? And what do you expect for Halifax in the coming year as well?
Well, CeaseFire is why I think CeaseFire is needed, because CeaseFire hires credible messengers, people from them communities that have the inroads in them communities to be able to go in there and have these conversations with some of our young men. You just can't walk into a community if you're not familiar and they're not familiar with you. Yeah. You're right? So bringing that all into place, along with the history of CeaseFire, which originated out of Chicago, and about stopping violence. I thought this was the greatest opportunity for this program, and also for me, to come out here and make a difference within our communities.
It's unbelievable. This is the very first CeaseFire in Canada as well. And CeaseFire says that it focuses on young African Nova Scotian males ages 16 to 24. And why do you think that is?
Well, stats don't lie. In this past year here, there's 12 murders, 7 of them were young black men, in that age bracket or a little bit older, you know what I'm saying? We don't have population as the rest of, Halifax will say, as a Caucasian race and stuff like that. So when you start looking at stats and comparing the amount of 7 young black men that lost their lives to and compare it with the population of the black community, them numbers are high, bro. Yeah, them numbers are high. Yeah. So.
And what is the youth's response to you guys going into the community?
I think my feeling is that we're well respected. First of all, we're known in our communities. We're not some strangers in our communities. So that breaks a lot of barriers. Knowing who you are, what you stand for.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other young men to older men in your group that go in and kind of give a helping hand to these young men that are on the streets and in our communities around here. And I understand that a gentleman, when you were growing up, kind of came into your life and kind of gave you a role model to look up to. Do you think that's pretty valuable for a young man while he's growing up?
Oh, it's essential. That's something we have lost over the years, but we're starting to get back to it. One thing about the old days, they taught you some really solid foundation on how to be a man. Yeah. You're right. This man came into my life at a young age by the name of Terry Simons, Louis Gannon, Gary Farmer, Mike Sampson. They all played a role in help nurturing us as young men about how to be responsible, about your education, and being a good person.
Yeah. And I have a quote from you. You got to give back what was given to you, and that's a saying you were known for. And what does this mean to you?
Well, it's just going back to, like I said, some of the mentors in my life. They always said to us growing up, just not me, just the guys in the neighborhood, you have to give back what was given to you. That's a philosophy we had really at our community-wide, going way back to early days. Each one teach one, you know what I'm saying? Take the time out to, you know, to give back what was given to you.
And do you think that could prevent them then from going onto the streets and possibly causing a situation with somebody they don't like that could end a life?
I definitely do. I definitely do. A lot of our young men just need someone. The biggest thing with our young men, like, you know, you can't come in there and just try to tell them what to do. First of all, you got to listen. You know what I'm saying? You got to listen to their story, because their story is different from my story when I was a young man. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to work on the things that will help, you know, help make this young man, make them changes in his life. But the key to working with a lot of these young men is that you have to listen to them.
And be their friend almost, not just tell them what to do.
No.
And CeaseFire says that they treat violence like a disease. Could you explain that for me a bit?
Well, take for example the common code. We all in this room right here, you right? If I got a code, eventually it's going to spread to each one of you some way. You might catch it, cat over here might catch it. Violence is no different. Me and you have a beef. You have friends, I have friends. Your friends catch a hold of the beef, they're riding with you. My friends catch a hold of the beef, they're riding with me. So now the beef that started with 1 or 2 people, now got maybe 15, 20 people involved. You know, social media. Now you're on social media talking, you know, crap about me or SHI.
Big factor, and it's people can connect easily, right?
There you go. So now, like I said, it started off with just 2, now it's spread to like
takes
10,
up
15
neighborhoods.
There you go. So what does the disease do? It starts off with a little foundation, and then if it's not put in check or controlled, it's like the Ebola, it will spread.
Now, is there one case that really stood out to you? There was some young man that you just saw have a total 180-degree turn in his life.
Many, but there was this one young man that I, you know, was having conversation with him. I know how he was riding. I know, you know, what he was involved in. And we got to talking, things happened. Now I really seen what was going on with him. So now I'm really into him, and talking with him and going to court with him, going, you know, making sure that he obliged by some of the orders the court laid down with him. Through all of that process, me and him kept having these conversations, you know, many of conversations. Got him back into some programs that will help develop him personally, you're right? Now I look at this young man and I seen a complete change in this young man. I seen a change that is for the better, and that where he can see some light down at the end of the tunnel, where maybe a year ago there was no light. There was only darkness.
Now, I'll leave you with this question. When you respond to those scenes, I know that you've been to these scenes throughout Halifax over the past year, these murder scenes. What has stuck out to you, and what do you want other people to take away from that? Just, you know, leave it in their head that violence is never the answer. The pain
that I've seen parents showed up on murder scenes. I heard a scream that I never heard in my life. The pain that comes with it. Not just on the victim itself, but I bet you the person that done it, the pain that they have in their heart, that what they have to live with. And if I can get one message out to all my brothers and sisters out there, think, because once you make that step, it's a step that you have to live with for the rest of your life.
Thank you so much, Shawn.
You're welcome.
That's Shawn Parker, everybody, and I'm afraid that's all the time that we have for today. I want to thank again Shawn so much for taking the time out of his busy life to come in here. This is Interview Showcase. Take care.